Reports are swirling that the Bulls might be interested in a Bradley Beal trade. If that ever happens, how would a trade look like? And should the Bulls even entertain this thought? We'll talk about it.
This is your home for all things Chicago Bulls. Join the conversation. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
What is going on, Bulls Nation? So the preseason transactions are in full effect and everyone's trading before even the draft happens. And for the Bulls, you don't know what's happening because AK has been really secretive when it comes to transactions. They really keep it close. And for the most part, nothing happens anyway. But one of the rumblings out there outside of Jonathan Kuminga, which we still don't know if the Bulls are gonna, for all we know, they're gonna resign Kobe, or they're gonna resign Giddey. Nothing's gonna happen. They make the 10th pick, the 12th pick, and I won't even be mad at that, to be quite honest with you. But one of the things that caught my eye is this Bradley Beal situation. Now, Bradley Beal is considered the worst contract in the NBA right now due to many reasons. One of them, he's owed $110 million for the next 2 years. He does have a no-trade clause. He's often injured, and just a bad deal altogether for anyone who acquires him. So if any team acquires him, for example, if the Bulls does, and the reason the Bulls is linked to him is because of Billy Donovan. That's his college coach. Now, if the Bulls are interested, make no mistake about it, the Bulls are not interested or shouldn't be interested in Bradley Beal. They should be interested in what will be attached to Bradley Beal. In a trade for Bradley Beal, Phoenix needs to sweeten any pot. Because, like I said, if you trade for him, you throw away the 2026 free agency plans that you do have. Like the Bulls are talking about having flexibility on 2026. You throw that out the window if you acquire Bradley Beal, paying that massive $50 million contract. Now, if the Bulls do trade for him, they should get the 10th pick tomorrow. That's not a negotiation. That is a must. That is not negotiable. They should get the 10th pick. And not only that, they should get a couple of more second-round picks just to absorb Bradley Beal. If Phoenix doesn't want to do that, you hang up the phone because you don't want him on your team anyway. You don't want the non-flexibility that he comes with him. And the backcourt between him and Giddey is going to be astronomically bad on defense. He does have some highlights here where he steals the ball, but my God, yeah. I'm not a big Bradley Beal fan, never was, never will be. I'm a fan of acquiring picks, though. So, and then if we do ever get Bradley Beal, we should attach Patrick Williams to the deal so you can get out of that contract. Not that I'm eager to get out of that. Well, I am eager to get out of that contract, but, have them get Patrick Williams. I'm sure they would want Vooch because they need a center that is expiring, and they might want another expiring in there, maybe Zach Collins or something, or maybe Lonzo Ball, do something like that. I think the money would work if you do something in that effect, or maybe Javon Carter. You put Javon Carter in there, so they got two expirings in there, which in Javon Carter and Vooch, and then they only acquire Patrick Williams, and then they give up the 10th pick. Obviously, you have to give that up. If Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Suns fans, if they think they can trade Bradley Beal without attaching a first rounder, I don't know. I mean, if they could, more power to them. If you can get rid of Bradley Beal with 5 second rounders, more power to you. I don't know which team would do that, but hey, maybe AK would do that. I don't know. God, $110 million in the next 2 years. And it's not like I'm paying the 110. It's the flexibility that the team would acquire Bradley Beal would be gone. Instantly gone once you acquire him. And for the Bulls, if they ever do that, let's say that is the package. I'm still not a fan of it, but I would understand it because, like I said, I'm all about acquiring assets. And there's a couple of, prospect that I want for the Bulls in the number 10 and number 12 position. I want them to have 2 picks, or maybe they can package that to move up. I don't know if that's enough to get into the top 5, but, I wouldn't be opposed to that. So if we ever acquire Beal, the lineup's going to be Giddey, Beal. Most likely you're gonna have to trade Kobe White at that point. I think they plan on trading Kobe anyway. So you get, you know, Giddey, Beal, Kevin Huerter, Matas Buzelis, and insert a center. You know, if we're gonna trade maybe Collins or perhaps you know, Smith, I don't know. You can put any center or whoever we're gonna draft, Asanuel, whoever it might be. Not a good lineup. Defensively, that's gonna suck between Beal and Josh Giddey. But I don't know if Kobe White is a better defender. I think he is a better defender than Beal. Kobe White is honestly he can hold his own on defense. He's not Alex Caruso out there, but I think he's better defensively. But yeah, I wouldn't oppose to that if we get a bunch of assets. I would say minimum of 3 picks. The 10th is non-negotiable. If you can get more seconds, even better. But that's gonna be just the starting point. If I would acquire somebody like Bradley Beal to the Chicago Bulls, I would hate it. It's gonna be hard to watch the Bulls anyway. And then if you get Beal, hey, they might, you know, they might even sneak in to this to the play-in tournament because of how weak the East is right now, especially with Tatum, Halliburton, and all those guys are gone. So there might be a shift on who gets in and out. But let me know in the comments, would you entertain this trade at all, or you would be like a hell no for Bradley Beal, even though it involves, you know, a pretty high draft pick at number 10. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. Thank you for watching. If you're a Bulls fan, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.